Hey, what's up, Emerald Coast? You know, Chris, it never fails. Once when the opening's going on, somebody's trying to call me.
That's
I forgot
right.
to silence
You're a
my
busy
cell
guy.
phone. So I'll get back to you if you're watching.
They're supposed to comment in the comment section, not call us during the show.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, but I know what he's wanting. But hey, I'm RJ Murdoch. This is Chris Seaman, and we are here on June 11th.
Thursday.
Chris, your camera's cutting you off a little bit. Let me take care of that.
I don't even have my microphone on.
Yeah, he was a little.
Welcome to the Christmas show.
Welcome to the Chris. Let's see if I can do.
Your camera's cutting me off? Is that me because I'm way over here?
There we go. We're moving the set behind
stop
us.
doing
We're
that.
staying still. The set is moving behind us.
Beach is moving.
It's moving behind us.
That's awesome.
So, today's Thursday. We're one day away from
Holiday weekend?
Weekend travel and stuff like that. I know it's going to be gorgeous here for the next couple of days. The weather's looking good. Been doing some yard work.
Father Day's around the corner. 1 week to go. Shopping.
1 more week to go.
Just to remind everybody, that is a thing, Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Just because there's a pandemic still outside doesn't mean you don't have to recognize Father's Day.
So happy Father's Day 1 week ahead.
So what's going on today? Tell us about some shameless plugs. We're going to talk about one of them today, I think.
Well, you know what? Actually, there was one. I wanted to pull up here. Let's see if I can get it up here real quick. Just to kind of start promoting it slightly. But very soon, coming soon, your opportunity to promote your business or event on What's Up Emerald Coast.
Very soon. Starting right now.
Rate.
Now you can call me.
I mean, I'm still kind of working on it, but this the ticker is one aspect. We're actually looking at possibility of bringing it in during the shameless
Oh, is that our
plug.
ticker?
Going across there. I know it's moving quite fast right now. Probably won't go as fast as that.
Yeah.
But we're taking the Weather Channel approach and giving you an opportunity to do it.
Panicking everybody. Something is going on right now.
Something is going on.
What's up, Emerald Coast? We're not really sure, but send us some money. We can talk about you.
So if you're interested, we're going to start doing some promotion for our promoting you next week. So but if you wanted to get some pre-information beforehand, just feel free to private message.
Or Emerald Coast TV.
Yep.
Emerald Coast TV, that's our landlord.
So we got that going on. Other shameless plugs going on. We've got, of course, if you're watching us live on emeraldcoasttv.com's Facebook page, but we're also live on YouTube and Roku and Amazon Fire all at the same time. And while you're at it, you may want to consider joining us on our What's Up Emerald Coast Facebook page, where we do lots of information about the show and stuff like that.
Oh, that's where we're going to start giving away things.
Yeah, kind of weird. The camera's switching back and forth to that.
That's our tech guy again. See, I let him out of the booth.
Yeah.
I let you out of the booth from yesterday, and now here we are, the same problem.
You know, you mentioned it yesterday, and it's really true. Part of the entertainment of this show is just
the tech guy.
Watching
tech
me
guy.
trying to tech.
So let me just throw in there for those that want to share, like the page, What's Up Emerald Coast. The beginning of our sponsorship platform is going to involve a lot of you. So as you share the page, as you like the page, we will select people out of there and try to turn on some of the people that have been bringing us things to be part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about one of them here in a minute. He was a guest in the past. Fantastic young man and an entrepreneur. He's brought us some products to give away.
Yeah, we had dinner with him and his dad on Tuesday
fantastic
night.
stuff. And then one of them happens to own an up-and-coming pizza store, and he's going to give away gift certificates for some pizza. So that's going to be a little. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
Yeah, I talked to that guy.
Yeah,
I talked to that guy, and I got a guy that has a pizza shop, and we're going to start giving that away. So feel free to share the show.
Yeah, and by the way, we love that throw your comments on the show, but you have to be watching us on the Emerald Coast TV Facebook page and adding your comments from there And every once in a while, we look down at the little display over here, and if we find something interesting,
And say, hi, Mom.
yeah, we'll post it up there. So feel free to go ahead and post, and we're going to kind of keep an eye on that.
I'm doing that eye right now. See me
So,
putting an eye on it. Watch my
putting an
volume
eye
go
on
crazy.
it. You know, and one of the other things that we love to do is talk every once in a while is talk about something that's really close and
Look,
near our heart.
is that a Thursday out there, a live shot?
But we've got...
That looks like a Friday. That looks like a Saturday weekend
Can you believe
Crab Island.
this is Thursday morning, and it's already picking up out there on
That's
Crab
pretty
Island.
crowded day for a
And
Thursday.
You can see all the wave runners coming off over there. They can, they tour in groups. I mean, if you're coming down to the area, this is what you're...
RJ, is that not one of
enjoying.
the prettiest aspects to this area to you?
Yeah.
That little sandbar?
It's pretty.
That little sandbar, 5-6
and
acres
it's
of
fun.
land
And
underwater?
It's a fun place. You know, speaking of Crab Island, and
We got any calendar days today?
And oh yeah, we do.
Because I'm hungry.
Let's see what we got going on. So,
Don't jump ahead now.
This is
stay with the routine.
Freaking out, so it's not showing up behind us. It's automatically switching to the next page. But let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and do a
Back
shameless
to the
plug
doghouse for the Friday show.
NationalCalendarDay.com, where we get kind
This
of our
is for those of you that are coming and waking up from the pandemic and realizing there are still things going on in life. Okay?
So-
still things. Memorial Day was now 2.5 weeks
typically,
ago.
there's always a food item of
Yes,
some sort.
that's why I come to do the
today is
show.
No different.
That's why I do the show.
Today is National Corn on the Cob
Winner,
Day.
Eastern Shore, Maryland,
How
Silver
better
Queen corn, the
enjoy the
best in
summer
the world.
than
There you
little,
go.
Little backyard barbecue and little corn on the cob. It just doesn't get any better than that. But lots of butter, some sea salt.
All day long.
yeah.
That's the linchpin between the dozen blue crabs and the fresh tomatoes.
Yeah.
The corn on the cob in the middle is the ticket.
And then of course I was talking about, but there's also the corn that you put in your crab boil as well.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a little
but
bit
it's corn
spicy.
on the cob day.
Yeah.
So you're going to eat it on the cob, butter, salt, pepper, call it a day. There we go.
That's
Silver Queen
true.
corn from technically mostly out of New Jersey, but it is some of the best you can eat.
Oh
So,
yeah, we had lots of cornfields in Jersey.
There we go.
Yeah, it's the Garden State.
There you go.
Talking from a guy from Jersey, exit
Yeah,
82.
not the yellow
State Parkway.
corn, not the yellow corn we
Spent my
grow in
summers
here.
in Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
And there you go. Not the yellow corn from
And I don't
Florida.
normally talk like that except when I go back.
White Silver Queen. What else we got, RJ?
Well, you can't have a full meal and not enjoy this little something sweet behind.
Come on.
It's
Okay.
national.
All right, we're off to a good start.
What? That doesn't work right.
Okay,
we
so
go.
you put up the
National.
chocolate cake and it disappears.
Yeah, National German Chocolate Cake Day.
I'm okay with that one,
Yep.
despite the diet.
despite the diet. How much do you know about?
Nothing.
Did
I
you
know it's
realize
good.
that German chocolate cake is not from Germany?
Where is it from?
Actually, it was a gentleman named Sam German.
Okay.
Who kind of put it.
Is he
came
from,
up with
like,
it back in
Tulsa?
1852. But he's actually known for, if you ever go to pick up chocolate chips from
Okay.
bakers, it's German's chocolate chip. So
Okay.
he's the one who kind of came up with the chocolate
Where's he
chip
from?
concept. He's American.
So do you know where in the United States where from? I'm going to Google it.
Let's just say
So you just
Tulsa,
ruined.
Oklahoma.
I just guessed that because it just seems like that's the kind of thing that, it's really not from Germany? Oh, yeah, it's right down the street.
Right down the street.
So go ahead.
So, and then lastly, this may be confuse some people. It's called Making Life Beautiful Day.
And they put a
And
model
of course,
on
they
there.
put a model on there.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with makeup.
We both reacted the same way.
It had nothing to do with makeup. I mean, yeah.
It's just making
lovely
life
eyes. It's
beautiful.
Lovely Photoshop there. But it really is. It's doing a kind thing, saying a kind word,
Yeah.
doing a good deed. Just
You give me some
working
Silver
on
Queen
your
corn.
yard.
Give me some Silver Queen corn and a German chocolate cake, and I consider you made it beautiful.
Yeah, well, I just give you pictures of it.
Or you could just send us out to Crab Island. That's beautiful.
That's true. You know what? Let's see. Can we pull that Crab Island picture back up again? Because that was kind of cool. I enjoy watching that stuff here. So,
Uh-oh, they're getting ready to crash. Oh, looks like we can watch
content?
Crash Up Derby down at the bottom right
should
there.
we do play-by-play commentary?
That was close. Okay, just so everybody knows, the two boats there, the one is they're going out doing some snorkeling kind of thing.
Yeah.
The little one that just dodged there, definitely a tourist.
Definitely a tourist.
Yeah, definitely a tourist. Did not know the rules of the road, and yeah. Okay, welcome.
Well,
All right,
it's
so what were you
interesting,
saying?
though, but during this whole pandemic shutdown and all that, who's been enjoying life the most? the boaters. It's this natural distancing.
Natural distancing.
And no restrictions. It's not a park. It's not a public place. They get to go out and enjoy the waterways, which is open to everybody. And
Well, and as I said in the beginning, I think, when you look at that sandbar right there, that is one of the most unique features to the Panhandle for sure. But I could make the argument that it's one of the only sandbars of that nature. I think there's one down in Tampa, and of course Key West has sandbars and stuff like that. But as far as where there's so much activity, where you have the comings and goings of all those boaters and a bridge with some 80,000 cars a day, plus you get the beauty of the American military flying overhead with a variety of airframes constantly. So that sandbar is uniquely positioned, plus the water is, wonderful, especially on that incoming tide, which it looks to me like that is the deep into the incoming tide. It gets even brighter than that, especially when it clips out. So that area, I've always bragged about that is an asset. And it's funny, I tease the realtors or anybody that has a comment about Crab Island negative, all the vendors that were out there and such, and we might talk about that here in a minute. But it's funny, if you go to any resort advertisement, if you go to any realtor's advertisement, their Facebook pages or whatever, within the top 3 photos of their company is a picture of Crab Island. Because that is the hood ornament, so to speak, of the Destin area.
it's the only attraction that's
God-given.
sort of, you can walk on it, but it's not on land.
Yeah, it's it's 5-6 acres of land that's submerged waist deep. And then when you get in the middle, you can see a couple of the burger joints out there. I think Charles's burger joint is out there on the right-hand side.
We don't have the ability to zoom, but
I can tell what they are.
And
And
98 for
right in that area, it's about
Doing
shin
these
deep.
camps here.
Right in that area, it's about shin deep. And then when you get over towards the areas closer to the bridge, it's waist deep. But when you step into those darker areas, you get a little bit of a seaweed bed that grows along there and kind of holds the bar in place. And then that current can rip. We're talking 4 or 5 knots.
Yeah, and that's one thing that most people in this area who are visiting the area just have to be aware of. The water may look calm, but underneath you could get an undertow. And we just had a gentleman from Texas just got caught up on the beach here the other day.
That's correct.
So that was kind of a shame, but if you're watching us for the first time and you're visiting the area, please be mindful of the rip currents and the undertows.
Any boating activity is always uniquely as fun and wonderful as it is also has its own unique dangers. Boats don't have brakes.
Right.
That's a fundamental one I learned the hard way.
And that's one of the things, especially if you're trying to find a parking spot in Crab Island.
Yeah.
Now, Crab Island has gone through some changes over the years.
It used to
be the free-for-all.
Well, I thought you were going back even further. It used to actually be a bar above ground, above the water line. And so that's where it got the name Crab Island. It was actually, and it used to be way back when, covered with sea life because it was above the water line, then below. And then as time changed and the Army Corps of Engineers and the local municipalities addressed putting in the jetty and kind of shoring up the shorelines along to the pass. The pass was never meant to be a pass, and it turned into a pass a century ago from a hurricane, which is usually what happens in these type of creating these natural features. And over time, it created it where as the sand washes in and out, the sandbar is now underwater.
Right.
So, and then it's turned into, what did you call it? The free-for-all?
Yep. Well, it used to be a free-for-all.
It didn't just, the free-for-all switch didn't just turn on. It
just was a gathering for boats only initially.
Correct.
And then it got to the point where some people were actually starting to try to swim out there or catch a hop out there. Now, swimming out there is not recommended.
Well, if you look along the shoreline over there, at the top of your screen is the Coastguard Station, and that channel that runs along that side over there is about 12, 13 feet deep. And that water, if you look how narrow it is, that's a whole lot of water.
And it's a channel, so there's still boat traffic going on.
Well, there's boats going through it right now. And
Right.
but if you look at the picture, at the very top of your screen, you can see Fort Walton Beach. So picture all that water when it's an outgoing tide. That water doesn't decide to go around Crab Island. That water decides to go through that channel at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
Now, the bottom of the screen, over here to your right, is the water that goes around towards Sandestin and all of Freeport and a lot of the agricultural side of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the water on that side, you're talking a very large body of water, the Choctawhatchee Bay and the estuaries that lead into it. When the tide turns and the water follows gravity and starts to head out to the Gulf, very quickly, basically you're drawing a line down the middle of the Choctawhatchee Bay.
Yeah.
It's actually more water on the right side of the picture when you look at the map. And so the current that's along the right-hand side that goes along where Dewey Destin's is, and the original Dewey Destin's, and the Calhoun Park, that water is usually when you hear a story of somebody is swept away in the current, it usually happens along that side over there. It's so, and I tell you, RJ, I've been out there a little bit, and I'll tell you some stories about that free-for-all. I guess that's what you're baiting me on there, and that's fine. I feel like you're blaming me, and I might be part of the problem.
I'm not blaming you.
Nah,
I just know
accept
that
it.
you have some experience out
Yeah,
there.
so-
And you have a whole website dedicated to crabisland.com.
And that's coming out new. And we're going to talk a little bit about on that website some of the things that we're talking about right now, because that bottom side of Crab Island is so appealing. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
That to the average person playing in the water, let's just say maybe they're not really in tune with water activity and water life. Let's say they're a tourist from the middle of the country.
Renting a pontoon boat from the Destin Harbor.
Yeah, and you get over to that edge and you're thinking it's beautiful and I'll step off and it's a little deeper. You're not stepping into a lake. You're stepping into a very quickly moving body of water. And even when the current's going in, it's pretty strong. But when that current is going out and that water is dumping out of the bay into the Gulf, I personally, a couple decades ago, I went out at the jetties and went to chase dolphins, literally chase dolphins. Thankfully, I had flippers on, and I jumped out off the jetty, and I rode the current out there, but I underestimated how stupid I was, one, and then underestimated how fast that current was, because quickly I was more than a half a mile off the beach.
And you got boat traffic in that area, too.
Absolutely. So it took me a solid hour of swimming. When you get it caught, just riptide, note to everybody, the only rule for riptide survival is to swim sideways from the current. Don't try to swim against it. But it took me an hour of swimming sideways, literally, and then to get back into the beach.
Flippers.
And I was grateful I had dive flippers on. So basically I rolled over my back and I just kind of took my time and kicked my way in. But so Crab Island, RJ, there's a lot of controversy, and some of it you'll see. There's a lot of Facebook pages about Crab Island.
Now, was it last year when they actually integrated the traffic way, the emergency path?
I think the year before they implemented the channel, and you can see the
and
channel.
The reason for that was to go ahead and be able to provide opportunities for emergency vehicles to be able to access. Because
correct, that's the theory.
In that mob there, I mean, this is not crowded right now.
Not at all.
This is maybe
3 times as many boats on Memorial Day weekend.
And a lot of them boat to boat to boat sometimes.
And they raft up and they lock up. And what you got to picture is when a boat's in the water and they raft up like that, you have anchor lines that go out 20, 30, 40 feet.
Yeah.
And then you sometimes have anchor lines on the back of boats another 20, 30, 40 feet. So the footprint of those boats in the water really leaves very few little space where another boat can get through. Mm-hmm. So in this case, there is a channel. Next time you'll have me a little red pointer, I guess, where I can be really high tech,
well, they can't see our.
There you go. I need one of those so I can be Jim Cantori of Crab Island. So right if you draw a line from the Coastguard Station,
right here,
right there, and if you kind of go almost on this picture, almost go horizontally, keep the current higher than that. Right there is the channel. That is the channel, and there's some white buoys out there. You see a couple of those little white buoys down in there.
Yeah.
And now what that is designed for is that Coast Guard or the Sheriff's Department has one boat, I believe, that they can basically zip down that channel to get to the other side or to get to the middle, and they have some one of those Zodiac boats that can be in 6 inches of water.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. Personally, I've seen it. People get out there. Here's the bottom line. It's Florida. We come to party. And we come to be in the sun, and we lose track, and we get dehydrated, and the rules of consumption of alcohol get pushed to the limits. And I've personally seen people out there that are underage and just not taking into consideration they're dehydrating their body, and they'll pass out.
Wow. Yeah. And well, speaking of dehydration, I think you may have a little going on right now because he decided to wear a slightly green shirt today. So
Yeah.
you notice.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! I didn't even notice that. Yeah, I'm blending into the screen.
On this one, he's blending
Thanks, cool.
through.
Yeah.
He's
So I could just do
he needs
this.
some water.
So I could do this to the Crab Island screen and be up there. So, but my point is, when the good news is the local municipalities authority realized that look, people are going to go out to Crab Island. Now, managing that and I put that in air quotes here because it's technically federal body of water. It's governed by the Coast Guard, and they govern that out of Mobile. So creating rules and policies out of there, you had to get permission to get permission to get permission.
Well, and that's been an ongoing thing for
Correct.
several years here because there was no law for the most part over there.
It kind of was a Wild West out
there.
there.
You had now they've got the Florida Marine and
Fish and Wildlife.
Fish and Wildlife.
Yeah.
As I think taking over for.
Well, they're the
advisors of the
they're
state.
the best prepared to oversee it.
Uh-huh.
The Coastguard Station is there, and again, the Sheriff's Department, they got plenty to do, and they don't have it necessarily in the budget to put a bunch more boats out there. I question that because this is a boating community, but the way they do it, and I commend them. I used to be involved with a big charity. We did the biggest poker run in the country.
Right.
So I got to see firsthand how the Sheriff's Department, even with their resources didn't allow them to have a fleet of boats, they worked hand in hand with Fish and Wildlife. They worked hand in hand with the local Coast Guard,
yeah.
and they showed how local municipalities can work together and provide the safety that we want, to protect and serve the community.
Right, and having done a couple of videos for Stu Jones with the Florida Powerboat Club and the
Emerald Coast Foundation.
Foundation, I've seen firsthand them out there policing and doing a good job.
Now, the other side of that coin is, people being people and people wanting to make money, I be one of them. I spent 7 years out there with a houseboat. And we created an entertainment type of thing, and it was all for promotion. Now, I will say this publicly because I got called out on it early on by the health department, and they were concerned that I was selling food out there, and I was not. I gave away food all the time. Now, I did make the mistake one time of taking donations for the local pet. I'm forgetting Paws, I think is what I did it for, Emerald Coast Wildlife. And that was wrong too, and I admitted it, and I stopped doing that. From that point on, I gave away food, and I gave away product. Now, that's when that time period, and I'm going to go back here over the last decade. Multiple vendors saw an opportunity out there to get out there and sell burgers and water, and have we recently had a couple of those inflatable giant water parks, and people offer cruises around it now. Tiki bars go pedaling out there to give you a cruise.
There were a lot stationary platforms out there.
The problem became a lot of those vendors were leaving them out there parked.
Right.
Okay, and that's the truth of the matter is that we the people, it's one thing for you to go out there and do what you do. It's another thing if you decide, okay, I'm going to leave my property on this property. And that's where the rules kind of were being stretched, and a lot of people were calling in going, hey, I moved here to see that pretty sandbar.
Well, and they were kind of considering it as mooring, which
correct.
You can moor your boat anywhere for the most part.
Well, that's not true. Now, the point is, if you want to be a vendor out there, you have to have a place to moor your boat. Uh-huh. So you could go moor your boat in the harbor, which some people are doing, moor it back in the bay, but then you got to follow the rules of the road on the water with the Coast Guard as to how you moor your boat and where you moor your boat, etc.
But you cannot keep it. I mean, and that was one of the things that was amazing this spring or this fall or somewhere around the December time frame when they finally made it.
It was last fall.
Where you could not leave your structures overnight.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden, I'm driving over Destin Bridge, and I'm not seeing anything out there. It was like nothing. And I was like, that was a sight we haven't seen in decades.
And this is my personal opinion, and I'm a fan of being an entrepreneur, but I think the final straw was putting the inflatable water parks out there. There was 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known both operators out there, and I get what they were trying to do, but when you leave those out there, you're making some people consider it an eyesore, and it takes away from the natural beauty. And it's one thing if you go out there, but I get it. You can't go out and set that up every day because that's an all-day project, and then it's an all-day project to take it down. So I get it. Now, if you notice, right now, presently, there's a couple of food vendors out there, and they're selling water. Now that brings up another topic. There were a couple places that popped up out there that were, and I've been in the bar business a little bit. There was a couple places out there that were distributing alcoholic beverages. Okay, now how they were going about it is the debate. Now I distributed alcoholic beverages, full disclosure for anybody who wants to go, well, you did it, Chris. I'm like, well, I did. I had a boat out there, but I brought beer out there and I gave it to my friends and people that were, just great to see you. And I did it as a promotion. Now, right or wrong, that's what I did. And I did it for a long period of time. And I had a great time doing it. And with it came the National Wiffle Ball Championship in the water. And with it came the Ultimate Chicken Fight Championship, which was, to me, two of the better promotions that I ever did. And a lot of fun. Yeah,
do we have some of those?
That's off the top of my barge. If you be careful, you're going to scroll through there. My mom might cuss me, but
right. So this is your view from when you.
That's
were
the view from the top of my deck. Of my barge.
If we can. I'm not
yes,
sure
and that's actually an outgoing tide. So you can see where the water does turn green as the water's leaving the bay. But that just shows you. I think that might have been on a July 4th weekend, because look at that, and that's before we called everybody over for free pizza and free beer and played wiffle ball. But it shows you the lines in the water, and it shows you now here became the problem. A lot of people, here's the other problem, RJ, is a lot of people are using the facilities, which are now blocked off, for parking. And that area is technically, there you go, that's a chicken fight. That's early years, because there's my boys that were the referees in the middle, and Stu and Steak that were in the middle there, and I had a ring card girl. Yeah, that was an early year of, thank you, RJ.
I was just trying to page
I'm having
through,
flashbacks.
I was just trying to page through without it being visible
while
you were talking about the parking.
It's all PG, I promise you on there. It's all PG. Yeah, that's the intensity
they're
of
not seeing it right now on this.
Okay. Well, go ahead and put that up there. That's a good one. That's a good shot of the chicken fight when those young ladies, those feathers, went at it for a bar tab. That was very entertaining. And there's my boy Steak and Stu refereeing right there. So we had safety in mind. We cordoned off the area with the buoys right there. Okay, but what was happening, and I admit I was in the middle of it too. A lot of people were figuring out they could get out to Crab Island without a boat. And how did they do that? They parked in that parking area, and their friends picked them up at the shoreline.
Yeah.
Now that created other problems. That parking overwhelmed. So people that just wanted to go to the shoreline and play on the beach areas along there couldn't get parking. So now people were starting to park down 98 on both sides of the 98 east and westbound. And then it created another problem. A lot of people going out there just to get on their friend's boat created trash, created debris, did not respect the area, did not respect our community, and therefore it was leaving a burden on the rest of, we the people.
And it's Air Force property.
And we pissed off the base commander.
Right, so basically they said, you know what, you don't have to have it open to the public anymore.
And that's right. They decided.
Everybody's kind of complained about that.
Recently, the city was trying to set up parking over there, and maybe they still will. But for right now, the base commander, and I don't blame him, the 96th Wing commander, and I'm name eluding me right at the moment, but I don't blame him when he looked at that. It's a liability. It's a problem for everybody if the people don't respect it. So we have no one to blame but ourselves. And but at the end of the day, he said, look, then if they can't take care of this property correctly, we have to keep everybody off of it. And I even put on Facebook once, well, you did it yourself. And so here it is. But now, it certainly highlighted the exploitation of what people did. I admit early on, as I had my boat out there, I picked up friends too. But I will say that I instructed and demanded that anybody that came out there took a bag of trash with them and disposed of it correctly and followed the rules.
So what was
Rob and I, just so you know, Rob and I one day even did a whole video on how to park along Highway 98 so people didn't get blocked in and it was safe. We did a whole, I held up a dry erase board explaining how to park correctly for people's safety. But
and I'm sure that's probably on one of your videos.
Oh, somewhere back. Yeah, one of those, we're in the black and white right there. Yeah, that's Rob and I doing the video Crab Island Live. You can see that's when we're playing wiffle ball with kids in the bottom right down there.
So on the bottom right, this one right
here?
Yeah,
that's playing wiffle ball for kids, and that was fantastic watching kids. It's the only place in the country, and I think that's Coach Terry throwing a pitch, and then if the kids scored, they got a free pizza. But when they hit the ball, maybe let's play it out and see what happens. When they hit it, It's the only place in the country I would yell on the microphone, "Hit that kid!" as loud as I could, and I could get away with it. And but the idea was we played old school, and you got the kid out by hitting him with the ball. So Coach Terry is now a retired professional wiffle ball player. So right here, watch it right here. Kid starts to run. And to see him wing that ball, that's the idea. And then here comes Kenny Craig trying to create some. Kenny is the mayor of Crab Island right there. And so, that kid is out because he turned the corner at third and he complained and he's still out. And these are all the kids in the bottom that are waiting to play. So we had 30, 40 kids playing. And just so you know, we get enough sponsors for the show, RJ. You and I will be out there doing play-by-play of wiffle ball.
Well, wiffle ball, and not only that.
Oh, no.
We actually may do.
Oh, yeah.
A fishing tournament, because we've got ourselves. Let's see if I can pull it up here, because that's the coolest thing. We got a chance to meet the
Jacob,
the inventor of the
Chillin' Reel.
The Chillin' Reel, and we got ourselves a whole display case.
How about that?
Chillin' Reels that we're going to probably find a way to promote those and give those away. And these are.
I'll find a way right now. Share the show, and we'll give you a Chillin' Reel.
Yeah. These
How about
are
that?
The perfect little accessory for Crab Island.
You see that sucker?
Yeah, no, we haven't cracked that open because we want to keep that possibility.
Oh, I want one.
You want one? All right, I guess we.
So the Chillin' Reel, this is very simple. So far, I think the record he said was 15 pounds. Caught on there, 15 pounds.
Let me see if I can zoom in on it while you're up there.
So what we're talking about doing in the future here, so you want to be a sponsor of the What's Up Emerald Coast, is be involved in our fishing tournament. We're talking about doing right in the middle of the fishing rodeo, because why not?
And there it is.
There you go. Okay, here we go. The Chillin' Reel.
Pick it up just a little bit.
I don't know. I'm gonna bust it out of the plastic.
Bust it out.
Yeah, so everybody can see it. There we go.
Yeah. Don't forget the sterilize.
I feel like I'm Regis. On Regis. Oh, look at that. It's got the little insulator on the inside with its additional.
You can use your own insulator if you
want.
Well,
but you want to use the Chillin' Reel insulator on the inside, and then on this side with the rubber band covering up is. I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can turn it. I got to get better at this. Okay, underneath this rubber band is your line. And you put your tackle on the end of there, toss that out. It's like a hand line.
But if you look inside, you'll actually see that
there's comes with tackle.
Comes with tackle.
There we go. Way to go, Jacob. Aren't you the man?
It's the complete kit there.
All right, so we're going to be talking about some Crab Island fishing tournaments as we go forward.
Yeah, so definitely want to...
Now, these are available on his website. You can go to Chillin' Reel and get one, and eventually we're going to have our registration for the fishing tournament on there as well.
Apparently Ryan wants one.
Oh, Ryan and I will have our own competition of the Chillin' Reel for what we catch. Ryan, we're catching fish, just so you know. This is not to be used for any other reason but to catch fish. See, you got to explain that to our retired weatherman because he gets very distracted. So anyway, but we will be talking about buying a Chillin' Reel as your registration.
Yeah. So
giving away. What were we talking about? The possibility of giving away a brand new car or something like that for the fishing tournament. I'll work on that. I'll work on that part. That's my job, is sponsorship prizes.
Well, at least maybe a free ride over to Crab Island or something like that.
Well, you got to have parking. The parking is the most valuable part of the ride to Crab Island.
We'll do a drone drop or something.
So
sweet. Okay. So one last thing on the Crab Island then. So what I'm looking for is wrong camera angle. Let's put it back on RJ for a second here. What I'm looking for from you, Chris, is the top 5 things that people should know about to play safe but still have fun at Crab Island.
All right, the first 2 are easy. Hydrate. It might be cliche-ish to say the Florida sun, but look, hydrate. And especially if you're going to have fun like you do when you're on vacation, you're going to drink and stuff like that, hydrate. Number 2, sunblock. It's not a joke. That same cliche about the Florida sun is not a joke. So make sure you wear sunblock early and often and all day long so that you can be out there more than one day.
Right.
Because you don't take it seriously, it's a big deal.
And include with that some sort of hat or face cover, something like that, just to protect your neck and your...
Sunblock doesn't have to be lotion. It can be a hat. It can be a shirt. I mean, I'm going out there in one of those neoprene long sleeves now because I don't even want to mess around with the idea of...
The gear they come for fishing nowadays, so lightweight, breathable, but they're perfect for sunblock as well.
So 5 things that you need to know about Crab Island, huh?
So you got 3 more.
3 more things.
Know when to drink.
Well, actually, pay attention to coming soon. I'll make a shameless plug for crabisland.com, because on there, one of the things is knowing the tide report. It's for your best experience out there for Crab Island. If you're going to be here for a week, yes, you can go out there every day, but you really want to try to time it to be out there. If you really want the prettiest experience, is the incoming tide. Yeah. Most people don't talk about that, but I took that as a very important factor when I was going out there, because if it's an outgoing tide after a storm, like we've had this storm lately.
I mean, right now it looks like you still got incoming tide, and the sun's to the back of the camera, so that just pulls out the green.
Right, but when it's an outgoing tide, the water can be very full of pine needles and bark and debris because it's washouts. There's a lot of agricultural land around here, and as that stuff washes through, it's the incoming tide is the pretty Gulf water, and of course that can also lead to jellyfish. So be aware. So that's 3.
That's 3.
Number 4. What was the premise now? The most things you need.
The best way to visit Crab Island safely, but still have fun.
The best way to visit Crab Island safely is by renting a pontoon boat. If you don't have your own boat, rent a pontoon, rent a jet ski.
I mean, they're available on the Destin Harbor.
They're available on crabisland.com.
If you're in the military bases, you've got either Eglin and Hobart. They have their own.
Right now, the hottest thing going is renting. Right now, the hottest thing going in the market is renting boats to get out of Crab Island, because there's no parking and no walking down to the shoreline. I mean, you're going to have to be a little more creative. So right now, the pontoon rental, but there's plenty of them. There's lots from Boogie's Water Sports to just down the list. True Blue to Beach Adulte. They're all available all the way over into Fort Walton now. There's pontoon rentals that you can get a pontoon for your family. You can get double deckers with slides on them, whatever you want. So, and with that pontoon,
be sure you can drive it safely.
Well, I was going to say number 4 has a 4B, which is now you're on a boat or you're on a jet ski. Listen to what the people explain to you before you take off from the dock. They make you watch a video, sign your waiver.
There are no breaks.
There are no breaks, but know what to do about life jackets, know what to do about a fire extinguisher. You're on a mechanical machine out there that, things can go wrong. So know how to use your anchor, learn how to tie a rope. A lot of that stuff, no excuses anymore, people. It's Googleable.
Yeah.
As you're riding, sitting in the condo waiting for the rain to clear.
You most likely have your friends and family, so you need to keep them safe as well. And the last thing you want is altercations, because. And
my number 5 is go back to number 1 and hydrate, but be patient. Take your time. If you're going out to Crab Island, you're not going out there for. Unless you're one of those couple of burger joints or something like that, you're going out there to relax. So be patient. Take your time. You see that it's a tight space coming in and out of Destin Harbor. It's tight spaces between the columns of the Destin Bridge. It's tight on Crab Island. It can be dangerous. So be patient. That's my number 5 for you, RJ. Right, take your time, and the slower you go, the more you will enjoy your day. I guarantee you that.
And I'd just like to add, especially if you're renting a boat or a pontoon boat, something like that, is that if you're the captain, and you decide to enjoy some libations, make sure you have a designated driver.
Safety.
Have enough time. Like you said, take your time. There's no rush. Enjoy the day.
Or go back and watch a couple shows ago. We talked about how badass our local sheriff's department is. They will make sure. So I'm not going to play about that. If you're going to be in charge of driving the boat, you do it responsibly.
All right, folks.
Stay rational, my friends. Yeah. Enjoy Crab Island this weekend. Look at it. There's probably been 50 more boats added since we started the show. I'm jealous. I got to go.
And right now,
I'm out of here, RJ.
Traffic still looks good.
I'm mic dropping you. I'm out.
And now's a good time. So, all right, with that
being said, everybody.
Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.